According to this article and research by Alan Blinder and Mark Zandi, the stimulus staved off a depression and kept unemployment from reaching 16% or higher. But was it worth the cost? The right keeps harping on the deficit and blaming it on Obama, but the left is partly responsible for letting them get away with it. The stimulus is only part of it, and spending is actually down, but there's a lot more to the picture. Using information from this chart made up of information from the CBO, I have developed the following chart. The blue part of the chart represents the deficit spending under Obama to date and projected deficit spending until 2017, which is all normal spending: education, military, infrastructure, services, etc. The green part of the chart is recent deficit spending, some holdovers from Bush's administration, the wars, Bush's tax cuts, and the recession Obama inherited when he came into office, and anything else that might negatively affect the debt, such as Obama's stimulus and TARP, which he also inherited from Bush but then continued. Had Obama not implemented these measures, deficit spending would look like what we see on this graph in the red section. Interestingly, this spending actually doesn't affect the overall debt by much, as you can see when we again overlay our actual spending. But as that article I mentioned earlier indicates, the GNP would have been negatively impacted by roughly 6.5% had the stimulus not happened, and that would have translated to tax revenues being negatively impacted as well. So deficit spending would have actually looked more like this. Now, when we again overlay actual spending, we see that the stimulus is not actually adding to the debt in the long term at all. In fact, by 2013, the deficit is actually lower due to the stimulus than it might have been without it. Oh, and we'd have about 12 million more unemployed citizens, give or take.